In the meantime, the FBI said Friday that Donald Trump was hit by a bullet or fragment from one fired by the would-be assassin at his Pennsylvania rally earlier this month. The department's confirmation that the former president was struck in the air by a bullet marks its latest attempt to kill a political uproar. The new statement is the most direct yet from federal law enforcement about Mr. Trump's injury, though it changes little in practical terms. Some law enforcement officials, including the FBI Director Christopher Wray, have previously said publicly that it was unclear whether he was hit by a bullet or a shrapnel, which is a fragment piece of ammunition. Other officials questioned whether Mr. Trump had been struck by a bullet at all. In other news, top diplomats from Southeast Asia are grappling with tensions over the South China Sea and the escalating fighting in Myanmar and regional rivalries as they meet in Laos. The meeting on Saturday brings together allies of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, including the United States, China, Russia, Japan, India, and Australia, to bolster their relationships and discuss critical security issues. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken arrived in the capital, Vietnam, and is expected to meet his Chinese counterpart, Wang Yi, as both countries look to expand their influence in the region. Hours before those talks, Blinken hit out at China's escalatory and unlawful actions taken against the Philippines in the South China Sea as he addressed the foreign ministers of the 10-member bloc.
ASEAN is at the heart of the United States Indo-Pacific strategy. We're deeply committed to ASEAN centrality. This means we'll keep working with and through ASEAN to tackle the biggest challenges while seizing on what we see as almost limitless opportunities. And we strongly support ASEAN's outlook on the Indo-Pacific, which shares fundamental principles with our own Indo-Pacific strategy. Our commercial and economic ties are incredibly robust, with two-way trade and investment supporting jobs here in Southeast Asia and in the United States, enhancing the economic futures for U.S. and ASEAN businesses and workers. The United States is very proud to be the #1 source of foreign direct investment across ASEAN.
In a related development, the UN Security Council have met to discuss the humanitarian situation in Gaza, including the legislation in the Israeli Knesset concerning the UN Relief and Works Agency for Palestine refugees in the Near East. The Deputy Commissioner General of UNRWA, Antonia Marie de Mille, noted the ongoing review by the Office of Internal Oversight Services of the allegations made against UNRWA, but noted that the agency is being targeted because of its role in safeguarding Palestinian refugees. She said that UNRWA must continue to provide services until a credible solution for Israel and Palestine is at hand. She warned that the bills before the Knesset on UNRWA make a travesty of the multilateral responsibilities of member states.
To dismantle the agency. On July 22nd, Israel's parliament approved in first reading 3 draft legislative bills related to UNRWA. One, seeking to ban UNRWA operations in occupied East Jerusalem. A second, seeking to revoke UN privileges and immunities afforded to UNRWA since 1949. And a third, designating UNRWA a terrorist organization. If these bills pass, which could happen as early as next week, the ramifications will be dire and immediate.
Today, the UN is not in a position to provide the necessary assistance to the people in Gaza, let alone to scale up, unless specific factors are in place. First and foremost, we need protection of civilians and civilian infrastructure, including protection of all humanitarian staff and assets.
Our support should match their courage. UNRWA remains under attack. The baseless and shameless terrorism charge against a UN humanitarian agency are no longer a talking point, but a license to kill.
Well, back here in Africa, it's been a year since the military junta forcibly took over power in the West African nation of Niger. Following the coup, the military junta